I got into this habit where, like, if girls compliment me in public, like, they're like, you're so pretty. I'm like, you're so pretty. Like, should we kiss? And I did it to this girl at the thrift store because she was my cashier, and she was like, I just had to tell you, like, you're so gorgeous. And I was like, you're so gorgeous. Like, should we kiss? And she just looks at me and she goes, I'm 17. And I was like, oh, that joke's not funny anymore. I'm not going to make that joke anymore. And I was, like, baffled, and I was like, I shouldn't have said that. And I just wanted to get the fuck out of there, and I, like, grabbed my stuff and left, and then she, like, chased me out. She's like, you need to pay. I forgot to pay. Like, not only did I, like, just, like, harass her, then I also, like, tried to steal. So that joke's over. Cut the cord on that.
Am I talking about you, or am I truthfully stating your actions? Like, if you're selling the cat, and I say you're selling the cat, that's not talking shit, that's stating facts. And just a FYI, all your favorite influencers, the girls with the bags on the trips, they're all selling it.
This girl recorded herself and her boyfriend at dinner. It looked like they're at like a buffet or something, and a woman comes up to her boyfriend and goes, oh, what are you eating? It looks good. And he goes, smoked salmon. That is the entirety of the interaction. On the screen, she goes, who the f doesn't know what smoked salmon is? And then her boyfriend just keeps like trying to talk to her about different things, and she like rolls her eyes and like gives him dirty looks. And on the screen, she goes, he's overcompensating with conversation because he knows I'm livid. I cannot fathom how some of you are actually in relationships. You don't treat your partners like partners, you treat them like prisoners. If you're mad that other women just exist around your boyfriend, you are not ready to be in a relationship, because it means you have absolutely no trust or confidence in the person that you're dating. It also means that you see all women as competition. Like, do you really think that someone asking about smoked salmon means that they want your crusty, dusty boyfriend? Now he's in trouble for being polite. Do you want him to be mean to random women? It frustrates me because like guys think that this is like the standard for women. So like when we do this, it just like reinforces that idea for them that we're all nuts. I'm a little disturbed by the amount of people in that comment section being like, well, you don't know the relationship. Like maybe she's being controlling and because he's cheated on her before. There is no excuse for that behavior, including infidelity. You've chosen to stay in a relationship after infidelity has happened in it. You have chosen to move on and try to trust that person again. Not a blanket excuse to now constantly police your partner. If you can't get over it, and you know you can't get over it, and it's going to be this constant thing that hangs over your relationship for the rest of it, then you need to break up. You are torturing both of you by staying in that relationship. If you're constantly worried about his coworkers, or if he has a small interaction at a restaurant, or if he has a quick banter with the checkout girl at a grocery store, you need to break up. Unfortunately, the fact that like it's mostly women leaving that comment in my comment section is again really disappointing. We should know better, and if you don't know better and you watch that video and you think her behavior is okay, you have work to do. Are relationships that get over infidelity and do actually move on, but it does not come from acting like that.
Well, everybody has a little bit of crazy in it, man. It's just, are you able to tame it? And if you're doing things like this, well, let me back up and say, everybody has a little bit of crazy in them. That much is true. But the difference between men and women is that, at least in modern society, women are encouraged to let their crazy out. They're encouraged to, it goes beyond validating feelings and venting. It goes into downright trashing a person is what a lot of modern women do. And then they say, you know, I'm just talking and I'm trying to, you know, process my feelings, and you're just invalidating them. No, what you're actually doing is being disrespectful. Your emotional intelligence is in the toilet. And I like to say, because they went to therapy, that their emotional intelligence is at an all-time high, but it's really not. So they can go just all out with their emotional, whatever it is, just have fits left and right, and you're supposed to understand it. But then when it comes to a man, he's got to control his because he's so scary, he's so big and mean and frightening, that sort of thing. So they continue on and they do stuff like she was doing. I wish I could find the original clip, but yeah, she was doing some weird stuff. The man was just, he wasn't even really saying much of anything. He was just answering the woman's question. It just looked like somebody who looked on your table and said, oh, that looks great. What is that? Oh, it's smoked salmon. Wow, I might have to get that. That's pretty much the entirety of the conversation is what that was. She was upset about that. And then she was trying to give him eyes and trying to basically, with her body language, let him know that she was upset and he should cut the conversation, which is weird and controlling and manipulative. But when men say this, then it's not real. It doesn't exist. So get it together, lady.
If you can't fit into the shower of your hotel room, just remember your body's not the...
How dare you ditch her video and slander her on the internet? You are a disgusting pig. What the
A dude in the comments said, notice she called him everything but a liar.
Single women keep women single. I promise you. When your girl go out and she with her homegirls that don't got a man, they're not giving her good advice. They're not telling her, hey, you shouldn't do that. Maybe your man wouldn't like it. No, they're in her ear talking about something. What do you think he would be doing if he was out right now with his guys? Single women keep other women single, bro. I promise you, they be the biggest ops. They be their biggest ops, okay? And if you think I'm lying, think about any relationship, any type of relationship you can think of, right? Now think of her friends. Are her friends good influences? It's nothing but the blind leading the blind. Stupid following stupidity.
Dumb following dumber.
And that's why I keep saying, if my girl want to go out with her friends, cool, come and collect. But why can't you go out with your friends that got men? That got a man. Why can't you go out with the homegirl who's talking about getting married? You want to go out with old ghetto ass that ain't got shown for herself, but she want to shake ass on headlights at 2 o'clock in the morning and drink Don Julio. See, that's why I run a strict program. You act stupid, you get kicked.
I'm gonna give the men some free game right now to tell you what girls actually want to hear when you're asking us on a date. All you need to do is give her a place, day, and time, and it will severely increase your chances of her saying yes. Like, let's get dinner at this time at this place. Like, I'll pick you up at 7, be ready. That's what we want to hear. We don't want to hear, oh, what do you want to do? Oh, when are you free? Blah, blah, blah. No, just tell us, like, a date and time and a thing to do. Like, it's really not that hard. For some, like, this comes super naturally and they just do this, but a lot don't, and that's probably why you're not getting dates. So try this out and let me know if it works.
Dude in the comments said, I'm gonna give men some free game. Hit it and quit it instead of paying and stay.
Why is the favorite meal of every straight man chicken, rice, and broccoli? That's all they ever make. That's their meal prep. That's their favorite meal. Oh my God, why?
Here's what women want. It's really not that complicated. We want to feel safe, both physically and emotionally. We want to feel heard. We want you to ask us questions and get curious about us as people and what we have to say and not just wait for your next turn to talk. We want to feel desired. We want you to make it clear that you are interested in us while also leaving us a little bit of space to come to you. And we want to feel cared for, and we want to know that you can take care of yourself because we want a partner and not someone who's going to add to our to-do list. And if you can do all of these things, we will do literally anything for you. Truly.
A dude in the comments said, just a simple 2-word response to all that. Passport bros.
All love, but he's not looking for a relationship right now, which is fine. Like, literally, it's like, it's a solid reason, I swear. I love him. I really don't. He's short. I'll be fine and I'll live. But this 24 hours, I've been in love with him. I'll say it. He won't text me.
Make this make sense. My husband tells me every single night, baby, put on the alarm, make sure the doors are locked before you go to sleep. And every single night I'm like, oh my God, I know. I've been living here for years. It's very annoying. The one night he doesn't say it, I forget it. So I hate that he tells me, but I also need him to tell me. Make that make sense. And to me, that's completely logical. Makes sense, right?
We don't even have sex anymore. All you do is make beats.
Oh, can't you see?
All you do is make beats. You don't even touch.
See, this is how I know y'all really not made for it. The women be talking about y'all want men that are successful, but y'all want to bother these men when they are creating the success. Baby, I understand that all he been doing is creating beats, but what he's doing is perfecting his craft. I see long checks in his future because that beat was fire, okay? So imagine where he will be once he's able to really get into the groove of things without you complaining. And for all the women that find themselves in situations like this, we don't even do it no more. Baby, the way I would be up under that desk beatboxing on that thing while he creating them beats. The way I would be on my knees. Okay? Because one thing I know for sure is when he makes it, if that man really love you and that man is working hard to create a nice life for y'all, when he makes it, he is going to think about all the work that you put in to keep his mind relaxed and his creativity flowing, among other things. Okay, girl, shut up.
And while I'm on it, I also believe that I need more homegirls. Why? Because girls grew up with brats. That explains the baddie culture today. All they trying to treat all the baddies like a Sasha. Some of us are Yasmin. But y'all wouldn't know that. Y'all wouldn't know that. The girls do. You can't talk to a Sasha like a Chloe, because Chloe respond to Chloe type. But you coming to Chloe with the Yasmin, and then you wondering why she not responding. Because you not talking to Chloe like Chloe. You talking to Chloe like Sasha. Sasha is Sasha for a reason. Sasha responded different. But y'all think y'all got the game all figured out. Oh, all these the same. No, we're not, bro. No, we're not. It's always baddie, shot o'clock, bro. But y'all don't even know what the baddies like to take shots of. Come on now. Riddle me the fact.
Approximately 10 hours later.
All right, y'all. If I'm going to be the neighborhood homegirl and give y'all the tea, y'all got to be the neighborhood homeboys and treat women with decency and respect, regardless on if you think she fine or not. All right. Y'all didn't understand the Bratz reference. Let's talk NBA. You walk into the spot, you see Steph Curry, you see Jimmy Butler. You decide, oh, I'm going to walk up on Steph Curry so I can get his number so we can hoop one-on-one by tomorrow. You walk up on Steph, but you start talking to Steph like he is a Jimmy Butler player. Now, Steph not for you because you can't recognize that he is not a Jimmy Butler player. He is a Steph Curry player. Same thing goes for women. All women are not the same. Contrary to popular belief, we all have very unique experiences that differ from person to person. We are not the same. It don't matter if we look the same. It don't matter if we went to the same school, live in the same neighborhood. We are just different. And if you don't know how to approach us, that's fine. You don't have to. It's not law that you approach every woman that you see. And also, you can just be friends with girls. That is okay.
I see where you're coming from, but you have to understand that both of the guys play basketball. Both of the men play basketball, right? So if I walk up with something that's common, I expect you to respond. And that's going to be the starting point of the conversation. If I walk up to Steph Curry, I'm not necessarily talking to him right off the bat about handles, about three-pointers, unless I know, hey, he shoots threes. With Steph Curry, you're going to know, hey, you shoot threes? Hey, man, how'd you get so good at shooting threes? That's going to be the end. With with Jimmy Butler, I'm probably going to say, hey, man, how'd you develop that mid-range game? You just know how to talk to him, right? Because you've been following them and observing them. Sometimes, let me move on with that. You can't walk up to Steph Curry. What confuses men is you walk up to Steph Curry and say, how did you develop such a good three-point shooting game? And he turns around and looks at you and like, what are you talking about? You shoot threes. You're the all-time leading three-point shooter. That's not what defines me. I'm more than that. No, I know. I was just saying, that was just the beginning of the conversation. I know I want to find more about you, but this is what I know about you. I'm trying to come at you with what I know. I know you shoot threes, so I'm trying to come at you with the three. Like, you shoot threes, right? You do that, right? I saw your stats. Just get out of my face. Don't talk to me. You don't know anything about basketball. I don't. That's why I was starting with threes. I was hoping that we could have a conversation about threes, and you get dismissed from the presence, right? So I do understand your point about, yeah, you need to understand and come at a woman the right way. But if this woman, if she don't want to, let me go on a little bit further to complete the point. If you walk away and it's like, what was that about? Man, Steph Curry really gave it to me. And then somebody else comes up from behind you, like, say it's Stephen A. Smith, and says, man, you know what? You got to tell me how you shoot those threes, brother. How did you develop that game? And Steph says, yeah, man, let me show you. Let me pull you off to the side and let's start shooting threes right, man. Let's get out of here and go to the gym right now. I can show you. you're gonna turn around and like, I just asked him about threes. He act like I approached him wrong. I just asked him about a part of his game that everybody knows, and he acted like I insulted him. But when Stephen A came up to him, then he acted like, yeah, let's go right now, and I can show you, do a think piece on on my game on threes. That's the analogy of, well, you got a Chad and a Tyrone and a regular average man. When a regular average man that you don't deem attractive approaches you, just like a Chad or a Tyrone would, hey, how you doing? You're really pretty. I saw you from across the way. I'd like to get to know you. My name is James. What's your name? Bridge troll, get away from me. What the heck? Why are you even over in my face? But when Chad or Tyrone comes and gives you the same line, oh, yes. Oh, yeah, come on. And I've got my friend. You got a friend over there? We've got friends. You got friends. Let's hang out. Hey, let's get out of here. Does that make sense? So what you're saying makes a lot of sense, and I appreciate you for saying that. But when men try to get in with what they know, with the commonality, sometimes what the complaint is, at least, is a lot of times you have women saying, you're a creep, get away from me. But then when a man that they actually think is attractive does the exact same thing, the exact same end, then all of a sudden it's romantic. He's Prince Charming. He did everything right. Fantastic approach.
So I have an important question to ask my men followers. I would ask women, but I don't tend to attract a lot of female followers. But I have a question for you guys, and this is a very serious subject. As you know, there is a male loneliness epidemic, and when it comes to people unaliving themselves, it's really high in men as in comparison to women. And I really want you guys to be truthfully honest. In a world where we teach men that it's weak for them to show their emotions, I can't help but think that we're doing you guys a disservice. And it's not just dads telling their sons to man up. I've seen mothers tell their sons to man up. You as young boys, do you remember when you were sad or hurt or crying, the first person you ran to was your mother because she was comforting. She gave you that emotional support. But one day the world told you that that was wrong, that that was a sign of weakness, and men are not supposed to cry. Men are not supposed to express or feel pain. And I can't help but wonder that we're wrong for that. There's such a serious thing going on with men's mental health. The loneliness epidemic and the unaliving of the men in our world shows us that there's something that we're doing wrong. And I know a lot of men, when they get into relationships, they depend emotionally on their partner, which their partner is usually more than happy to do. But it's sad that men only feel they can do that with their partner when they have friends. And I know a lot of guys who hang out with their boys and they have fun, they shoot whatever they got to do with each other. But when it comes to when they're in pain, they can't rely on their friends, or they feel like they can't rely on their friends because they think their friends are going to make fun of them, or if they go to their father or even their mother sometimes, that their world's going to look down on them. My male followers are, do you feel that we're doing you wrong? Do you feel that because of all the things that you go through mentally and sadness and loneliness, do you feel that there's something that we should do differently now? Because the thing with women, we're told we're emotional all the time. That's pretty much our stigma. We're sad or in pain, we're not shy about telling somebody or expressing or leaning on somebody. And that's great for us, and that we can do that for you guys when you're partnered with us. But at the end of the day, what if you don't have a partner? At the end of the day, your emotional and mental health is not anybody else's responsibility but your own. But we can't help but understand the correlation between how the way we were raised that shapes us and how we should or should not be. So you as men, do you think we need to change our parenting style? That way men can stop feeling depressed, they can stop feeling lonely and feel more comfortable to be emotionally intelligent and to lean on somebody when they need somebody. I just want to know your opinion on this.
I think for at least myself, I'm able to talk to my friends about stuff. I'm able to open up and be vulnerable with them. But I think for me personally, what does it profit a man? Nobody gives a man space and time to sit down, talk about his feelings, validate those feelings and say, yeah, man, you are going through something. Here's how you work through that. They're like, yo, that sucks. Get back to work. That's what they do. Get back to work. Those bills got to be paid. Whereas with a lot of women, a lot of times they give them the space to grieve, to mourn, to do whatever they think they need to do. And then they get back. So their mind is clear. While a man, it's easy for you to go to therapy and to be able to think clearly and, cry it out when you can actually genuinely rest. Oh, I can't rest. I'm a single mother. I'm this, that. What I'm saying is, even though your life is hard, specifically, like you individually, as a whole, all you have to really worry about is going to work, doing whatever it is that you need to do to pay the bills. Obviously, security and safety concerns, I do get that. But on the whole, a man has to worry about future threats. He has to worry about what's going to be, how we're going to stop it. And while you're crying yourself to sleep, he's outside when he should probably be crying himself to sleep, trying to get over his emotions, having a good cry. He's outside trying to fix stuff. That's the difference. We're having the same emotions, but you're getting more time to cry those out, to flush those out of your system. Oh, why don't you go out with friends? Why don't you go do this, go do that? Probably a good idea, but a lot of times men are expected to bury it, or they're expected to just eat it and keep on going, swallow it and keep on going. So they begin to operate like that because that's what's expected of them. Men actually catch on very quickly. That's why you're seeing men not approaching, because they catch on very quickly to what you're asking about, to what you're doing. Adaptation is what men are very, very good at. Well, they ain't that. I don't want to hear that. They're very, very good at adaptation. That's how men continue to survive. Period. End of story. And if they're saying, or if they're being taught from a very young age that you got to keep moving, this is how you do it, I wouldn't necessarily call it toxic. It's just the reality of it. This is what you have to do to survive. It's not right. You don't have to like it, but you do have to do it. So while you're sitting back there crying and getting a Band-Aid on your leg, a man has created his own Band-Aid. What do you mean by that? Maybe taking off a tree branch or a leaf or something like that and tied a strand of hair around it just to keep all of the infection, or a lot of the infection, maybe not all of it, out. He has to learn on the go by trial and error how to fix things, how to do things while you stay inside. So that's why when a man says, what do you bring to the table? The least that you can do is cook. The least that you can do is clean. If I'm out there trying to figure out things, trial and error, the least that you can do is be peaceful. It is to be available for me to share my emotions and you share yours. A lot of the stuff that you guys are doing that you call like extraordinary, over the line, over the top, is really just bare minimum. To be honest, that's the basic needs of a man in a relationship. And he does tell you that. It's just that a lot of modern women get offended by a man telling them, this is exactly what I need. This is how I need it. This is when I need it. And you think for some reason that you're being objectified and he's only using you transactionally, but he's communicating to you up front, this is how I function. This is how I operate. Are you on board with that? If not, cool, we can go our separate ways. But a lot of times, or sometimes, these women will sit there, hear, y'all like to say that men hear what you're saying and then adapt to it and start basically being a con man. If that's the case, y'all are doing the same thing. You hear what a man says he wants, you adapt to it, and then you're not really willing to do that with all your heart when he actually needs you to. And so you become a burden to him. He marries you, he takes you on, and you become a liability to him. And now he can't even talk to you, who was supposed to be his friend. So you get sometimes women make life very hard for men. The world already makes life hard for men. They already don't really have a lot of places to go. They can go to their friends, but pretty much their friends are on the same type of time. We don't have time to stop. We got to keep moving because there's money to be made. There's problems to be fixed. There's security that has been breached. We got to rebuild whatever it is and keep moving forward. So once again, The only difference between men and women a lot of times, in my opinion, is the fact that women a lot of times are given space to grieve, to express their emotions. Whereas men are, you can express your emotions, you can be crying, but keep on running and crying. So you run, it's easier to continue running and dry those tears up so you conserve energy, right? While you can stop, cry, and get this, they'll take you and move you up in the race. A man don't have that option. A man don't have that option. So he has to keep on running because ain't nobody going to give him a shortcut. Ain't nobody going to give him a boost. Ain't nobody going to take him and teleport him to the back, to the end of the race or close to the end of the race and let you cross the finish line and make you think that you did it. They're going to say, hey, you were teleported here. You didn't earn this. You got to go back. You lost the race, disqualified. That's what they're going to say to men. That's it. That's the reality of it.
I just watched this girl's video where she's talking about a chopped man epidemic. She said all the men are ugly. She sees an attractive guy about once a month. And that there's a serious baddie shortage. And I open up the comments, all the men. How are you saying they're chopped? You're chopped. You look like a man. I say take notes. You guys are getting angry. You guys are getting offended. I'm getting motivated. I'm getting inspired. I thought I was a master manifester. She's a prodigy. No part of her lives in this reality. That's how it works, right? She doesn't see what is. She sees what could be. She wakes up, goes to the bathroom, looks in the mirror. She doesn't see raw rosas. She sees Suni Lee. That's the point. I need you guys to lock in. Sophomore tips.
Bro, he just called this woman Raul Rosas. Raul Rosas. Bruh. Raul Rosas is crazy work.
There's no way I'm working so hard for my future just to settle down with somebody who has just been passed around, partied all the time, and literally hasn't done anything with your life. Like, miss me with that. I'm not here to just take care of somebody, especially if they got kids already.
Real question. How much are y'all getting approached in public? You know, because 1 week it's, why don't men approach anymore? They're soft, they're weak, they're not masculine. Seeing as how I'm a married man, and even when I wasn't married, I never cold called women. I never in my life, there's not a woman alive who could say I just walked up to her on some stranger. How you doing? I'm John. Never done no shit like that in my life. But every other week, it's one or two things. These men are approaching too much and can't take rejection, or these men aren't approaching. Some of y'all lying. I'm gonna call Cat. A lot of y'all lying. As much as this week is, why are you approaching women in Walmart? If that's a real thing, why are you approaching women in Walmart? I walk around Walmart with AirPods in my ear because that. Trying to stay out of everybody's way, get in and get out. But I just can't believe that every time you leave a house, how much of y'all getting approached? Every time you leave a house, I feel like out of 1,000 times you leave your house, you get approached 5 times. On some, how you doing? I think you pretty. Can I have your number? You, out of every 1,000 times you leave your house, you're getting approached 5 times. And now you're hearing other women talk about it. You kind of had an experience here and there, and you're like, ooh, I can get in on this one. And now it's a whole talking point. Ain't nobody approaching y'all like that.
Pay my own bills. I raise my kids alone. I take out my own trash. I cut my own grass. I buy and cook my own grocery. You can't be average when it comes to me. Just standards. Very, very high standards.
That's what you're supposed to do. As an adult, you're supposed to take care of your own responsibilities. On top of that, you're a mother of 2, so it sounds like you're on your own, so you definitely have to do that. If you weren't doing those things, people would look at you as if you're a bum. Because anytime a man would list those things as qualities about himself, a woman will tell him that it's the bare minimum. So you're not doing anything special, but shout out to you for taking care of your responsibilities and taking care of your kids as you're supposed to. Listen, you're proud of your accomplishments, and that's good. But when it comes to dating, I don't think you understand that those things don't necessarily make you more valuable in the eyes of a man that you're attempting to date. I think it's in your best interest to figure out what men want if you are looking for a man.
I'm just gonna say this once, okay? If that man cannot hurt another girl's feelings to protect yours, okay, that is not your man.
You see, the problem isn't that we don't care about protecting our girls' feelings, because we do. We absolutely do that. Like, if a girl tells me, stop following this girl on Instagram, she's unfollowed. Done. The problem comes in when you tell the girl to do the exact same thing for you. Then it's somehow a problem. Oh, unfollow him for me. He likes all your pictures. He comments on your party eyes. Oh, I don't want to unfollow him. He's just my friend. Why is this such a big deal? Like, keep the same energy if you're going to say something like that, okay?